All aboard!
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the Analyst Desk. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo!
Well, you almost feel phenomenal after that Leaf game.
Yes. Almost.
You have that third line becoming a row identity line.
Yeah.
How's it going, Mr. David? Always good to hear from you at the desk.
What up, David? Huge hockey fan.
Absolutely key. There is absolutely a lot going on right now. I mean, we can talk more than just Leafs tonight, too. Some big CFL news going on, big game in the NFL going on right now, do or die game between the Cowboys and Lions. But look, I will say it's for the Leafs. You feel like everything's starting to starting to roll.
Yeah.
Lane, if laptop ever starts, he will be here. So
Sweet.
You know what? You see it. The offense is clicking.
I know you're helping
Lane
Lane try to get a new laptop.
You're getting offense from your bottom six and your top six. Woll's playing great. And then, unfortunately, this is what has plagued Joel Woll his whole career as a Leaf.
Womp, womp, womp.
He gets injured. I do agree. Hey, you know what? This was an absolutely great game for Toronto. I think they got to be happy with the way they played overall. I think, considering the way they played against Carolina and Florida of late.
Yeah.
Those last, and you know what? Dan, if you remember, I said going into this road trip, they needed to win 4 out of the 6, and they did.
They did. Yeah, you got that
Like,
on.
they're right back in that playoff hunt now, and including, beating Florida and beating Carolina. Those are 2 statement wins.
And not
And
just
beating Pittsburgh the way you did.
not just beating them, but the way they did it. If they didn't squeeze out a 2-1 win or a 3-1 win in overtime, they legitimately beat the best teams in the East right now. Like, I know Florida is not up in the standings, but let's face it, back-to-back Stanley Cup champs. Somehow Florida's going to make it back into the playoffs. You got Pittsburgh and Carolina, who really are 2 of the best teams in the East, and I mean, Sid the kid, 40-year-old kid, he's still like dominating the league. And Carolina, they built for a team a very unique way, definitely an untraditional way of building a team by trading your best franchise player away to get another franchise player that doesn't want to stay there and trading them with draft picks and signing a free agent to a crazy contract. But hey, they got it done, and here they are, right? So give the Leafs a lot of credit for everything that they did, and just the way they won too. More importantly, you might agree with me, Jake, I might not, but I think this is even more important than the wins, is not just the fact that they won, it's the fact they finally got chemistry in all 4 lines.
Yes, I mean, like, I really think
team.
now Berube, for the most part, has got to leave this lineup alone. Right now, it's playing really well. I am very concerned, though, about goaltending. As much as Dennis Hildeby came in, 9 shots, 9 saves, made a couple nice saves as well. But the guy's never – he has looked good, but, like, he's never played this much in the NHL. And when you looked at Woll's injury, it looked like it might – not that I'm going to speculate. I'm going to play podcast doctor here and say it could be a hip injury. And if it's a hip injury – look, Woll could miss some time, right? And if Woll ends up missing some time, it's going to go down to Hildeby and then potentially that super Russian goalie from the Marlies, onto Nerov, however you pronounce his name. I apologize for butchering it. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, this could be getting in here. But let's get into some comments here. I love this game. I agree. Absolutely phenomenal game by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
If Woll is injured, do you put in Stolarz?
Well, Stolarz is injured, Dan. You don't have
Stolarz. Is he?
Yes, Danny hasn't skated. Stop with your conspiracy theories that make no sense. Okay, Key. Again, I think we need to talk. Is Dan Campbell magic wearing off? Call me crazy, but I say no. But probably the Lions missed the playoffs. Part with Dan. I don't see them getting rid of Dan Campbell, even if they miss the playoffs, Key, personally. I think he's completely turned that franchise around. I think they got a lot of faith in him.
I am surprised that Detroit is as bad as they are this year. We were just talking about this as we were back and forth between the Leafs and the football game, Thursday Night Football. I am surprised if they are 7-5 and looking like it could be 7-6 at this point.
Well, no, they're beating the Cowboys 20-9 at halftime right now, Mr. Moore.
Oh, okay. Well, last time I checked, it was like a 3-3 or 6-3 game. But anyway, it looks like. So even if they are like 8-5, right? It's not terrible. We just thought the Cowboys are going to be the Lions are going to be like where the Patriots are in their division. We thought they were going to be one of the best teams again. And let's face it, if you're an 8-5 record, you probably have a good chance of making the playoffs.
This year it's tough though, right? In the NFL, it's very, very interesting here. But yeah, absolutely. Detroit, I'd say between the Cowboys and the Lions, those are 2 must-win games. And yeah, absolutely, Wilder, you got to love wins like this for Toronto. The Leafs just went out and did what they needed to do. And look, they're now only 4 points out of a playoff spot. And as I said to you guys before, I'm still very, very confident that the Leafs will make the playoffs this season. Will they go out first round? Time will tell. But at the end of the day, but you know what's even more exciting than the Leafs getting this win? Is that Lane Daschko got his computer to work.
That's right.
Yeah.
How's it going, Mr. Daschko?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's getting worse, but we're getting. Eventually we'll start. It's like it's you gotta like the 1800s. You gotta go churn some butter, and eventually eventually it'll turn on.
Well, I
gotta go talk to my buddy Sir Isaac Newton and be like, how to turn on electricity.
Wow. Well,
but into us, more comments. Yeah, hey, Brad Marchand's been absolutely killing it this year in Florida. Yeah, he's having a great year. He's one of those
37
guys.
years old and is
By the way,
dominating a human being.
Speaking of Brad Marchand, he kind of called. He didn't just call me up, but he called a lot of people. Do we want to go? Like he's kind of a weird guy, right? Like I feel like he trolls, but I feel like he just says what he really means when he said he said about the whole thing about, well, if you think Toronto is done, then you probably don't belong in media.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did say that.
Well, and hey, you know what? I kept saying that too. I'm like, look, it's still way too early in the year, and this team is too good to be this bad. And look, you're seeing it. Auston Matthews on a 4-game point streak. Matthew Knies with maybe potentially the goal of the season so far for the Leafs. With that beautiful goal. And look, this team's starting to figure it out, but we do have to address the elephant in the room here, as from good old Adam. Insert last name here.
Oh, he changed his name.
Depressing of Wolves is seriously injured. Come on, Dan, get your scores right. See, Dan, you're being called out. And yeah, absolutely.
What's going on?
If Joseph Woll is, and we'll get into some more comments, but I want to maybe
yeah.
dive into this Joseph Woll situation a little bit. Look, if Joseph Woll's hurt long term, which I hate to say it, I think you're going to be riding Dennis Hildeby for the next little bit. How confident are we right now in Dennis Hildeby? He's playing well.
I'm pretty
Like very little NHL experience, but like the moment doesn't look too big for him.
At the end of the day,
confident in him. I don't know. I said they shouldn't even have taken him out for Woll. I said leave him in. Like he's playing great. Like what? This is what you got him for. You got him to be the. They said some people even said he was supposed to be better than Joseph Woll. Like originally touted to be. Like he was supposed to be this. He's supposed to be like the starting goalie. They said his level of goalie is higher than Joseph Woll. So
100%.
If he's finally just hitting his stride, like he's getting his confidence in it. It took him a few years. It took him 2 or 3 seasons to kind of get going, and now he's getting going. I don't have any problem with the Hilt the Beast.
All I'm saying is, though, you know what? It's tough, right? Every time it looks like Joseph Woll is becoming that starting goalie that the Leafs think he can be, he gets injured. I'm not saying I'm not confident in Dennis Hildeby, but it's going to be tough if he's got to play every night at an NHL level. It's something he's never done.
I hear what you're saying, Jacob. I really
He's been playing very well in relief. I even think the games he started, and even though he's not winning them all, like even the one game he allowed 5 against Carolina, I actually thought, and yes, Shades, I think I fixed the issue with the mic there, but thank you for letting us know in the comments. But I think with Dennis Hildeby, like he's looked good in the games he's been in. I'm just kind of now let's see, can he do it long term? Can he get 5 or 6 starts straight? And can he play well in 5 or 6 games straight? That's the $1 million question right now.
See, Mr. Jacob, I actually agree with Daschko here on this point. I think Dennis Hildeby, I think his time is now. A lot of times goalies are late bloomers. What?
His time is now.
Yeah, 100%. John Cena song. Let's go. He's
a franchise and it's shining now. You can't see him. His time is now.
That's right. A lot of times goalies are late bloomers. He's 6'7", which is incredible. He won a tall, dark, handsome man, been back in the net, representing a squad. And like we've seen him in Murray games, and we've seen how good he is. And like what Mr. Daschko said, which a lot of people forgot about, they drafted Hildeby as a franchise goalie. He's that high in the depth charts, and we was that good back in the Swedish days. I mean, Joseph Woll, yeah, we all like him and all, but he was never rated as a franchise goalie. Versus Hildeby actually is.
It's just, guys, you're taking what he's done in the AHL and what he's done in a couple starts, and now you're expecting him to just be able to jump in and do it at the NHL level. I'm not saying he can't do it, but the Leafs are going to have to play really solid defense in front of them, which they're getting good defense right now. And I would say, too, one of the biggest parts of this turnaround for this team has been that third line, right? Like you look at that third line of McMahon had 2 goals again tonight. Nicholas Waugh killing it in face-off circle. Dakota Joshua is playing really big and physical. That's the third line that I think they wanted from the beginning. And Dan, you're getting a shout out in the comments section.
Yeah. Woo!
Hey, and don't worry, Will. We'll have you on again very soon. This was a kind of a little bit of a spur of the moment thing tonight. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to come out to the desk, but we made it.
Gotta say hello to Will from Indiana. It's pretty cool.
Take your dasher to the dash man.
Oh, I like that. The dasher. Yeah.
Well, Key, I'm sorry you're feeling sick, but I'm hopefully the analyst desk is the perfect medicine for that flu.
Get some tea.
But don't spill the tea.
No, don't spill the tea.
Yeah, 4-2 road trip, Brendan. As I said it from the beginning, I felt in this road trip they needed to go 4-2. I agree. It could have been 5-1 if they could have held on against Washington, if they played a bit better in the second half of that game. But look, at the end of the day, the Leafs are now 4 points out of a playoff spot again, right? Like, they're right back in that mix, and this road trip has given them that ability to get back in the race. Hey, I hope you get out of the mud. You must be having an interesting night at 10:04 at night, being stuck in the mud. Sounds like me and my college buddies back in the Belleville days. Yeah, Shades, absolutely. Detroit Lions just got another touchdown, Lions, and they're up 26-9. Waiting to see if they convert the extra point. I will say this too: if the Cowboys lose that game, I think the Cowboys are done.
I think so, 100%.
Cowboys have to win out like the Chiefs, and I'd even argue like the Lions. They can't. They just converted the extra points. Now it's 27-9.
Nice. Wow.
Dan, you're getting more shout outs in the comments.
Woo!
Man, the Cowboys, I know this is not related, but the Cowboys really need to move on from, yeah, here we go.
I don't know, man. I actually think Dak Prescott, maybe under a different OC, might be able to do a bit more than what he does.
Yeah, I don't think he's the problem. He's breaking records.
Yeah, but I don't know, he just kind of, I know it's unrelated to what we're talking about right now, but I feel like he's another same song and dance guy. Like, every year it's the same thing. Like, he does, and in the playoffs he sucks.
Yeah, but this year Dallas sucks because they're a defense.
Oh, yeah, the Micah Parsons trade's kind of back. Although I don't think Green Bay hasn't been as good as I thought they'd be.
Okay, they started off hot, they cooled down, but Green Bay's still a better team with Parkins and without.
Well, sure, but I mean, I thought, they were talking at the beginning of the year, oh, we're going to be undefeated and blah, 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 blah. But, as David's saying here, some people like the pressure might be the opposite, and I believe this was referencing back to the Joseph Woll situation, how sometimes he's hot and cold, but I personally think Woll's been really good this year. It's just unfortunate that I'm even going to put a little bit of blame on Craig Berube. Maybe Woll shouldn't have started 8 of the last 9 games when Hildeby had been playing pretty solid.
Well, that's what I kept saying.
Right? Too. Like, I actually would have given Hildeby this game probably just because Woll, the problem is too, like, Woll's been playing really well and having to make lots of saves of going back and forth, and that's where you can just tweak a groin injury. Right?
I think Craig Berube, time is now. I think Craig Berube was just stressed out because they were so far back from a playoff spot. They needed every point possible, every win possible, right? I'm not saying it was like what he did, but I think that's why he did it. Now,
you're still growing, Dan, so there you go. You got to make sure Dan drinks his glass of milk a day because he's a growing young boy.
That's right, 100%. I look very young now. See, I got rid of the mustache everything from November.
The giant freak needs some consistency in front of him. Yeah, I do agree. If you can play consistent in front of Hildeby, right, and just make sure you don't allow a lot of secondary chances, I think it's a really good chance that you can get him going, right? And if you can get Hildeby going, who knows? Maybe you found a diamond in the rough here in Dennis Hildeby, and they did sign him to a 3-year extension, so he's got term.
Very good contract. Imagine if he's your like a head goalie for like the next 2 years at $800K a year. Holy cow, you're in cap heaven. But however, I do have
absolutely, Shades. Always stay on your toes for the desk. We're like Agent 47. We're never seen in the night, and then we pounce. Dun, dun, dun.
That's right.
There you go, Key. You got to get some Twisted Tea. By the way, we're not sponsored by Twisted Tea.
But we could be.
be.
I do have a gas or ass.
Oh, it's time for everyone's. You know what? Screw the quiz being everyone's Canada's favorite game show. We all know Gas or Ass is Canada's favorite game show. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, or is it ass? Yes. Or is it ass?
I did steal this from the quiz a little bit. The quiz was talking about the identity line making the difference for the Leafs in this winning streak. Now I'm changing it up here a little bit. Is this the first third line that we've seen since the skyscraper days of Joey Nieuwendyk, Nikolai Antipov, and Alexei Ponikarovsky? Gasaras. Is this the first third line we've had?
Did you mean like the first true, like what a third line's supposed to be, like big, physical?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the Leafs haven't had a good third line since probably the early to mid 2000s. So yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that was the old 403 season, the skyscraper line.
I'm gonna go gas with you on this. I haven't. The next closest one probably would have been when it was Achari, Ryan O'Reilly, and I forget who was on the wing on the other wing on that line, but that was a pretty solid line when they went to the second round a couple years ago under Keith. But
that was a great team. Yeah,
this is the type that when you signed Dakota Joshua and you traded for Nicholas Waugh, this is what you were hoping for of what that third line is doing.
Yeah. So what you say gas to my comment?
I'm saying gas overall, even though I think you could argue that Achari and Ryan O'Reilly line.
That's a very good point. What would you have to say, Mr. Daschko?
I think it's ass, but I understand what you're trying to get at.
So what line do you think was better?
It's just too small of a sample. I kind of agree with Brendan saying it's too small of a sample size. Like, you got to go back so it's only like 20 years,
Yeah, so it's true here. We're saying Brandon saying ass, too small sample size. Okay. We have Adam saying gas. If only there weren't so many injuries, we could have had it earlier. And that is very true.
That's a great point.
I think
we had Law as the second line for quite a bit.
I think they've had good third lines. Because I think the Leafs have always had some pretty decent depth. Like even like last year, the third line wasn't terrible.
No, I understand.
The third line though wasn't like it wasn't like a true third line that just grinded you out.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And just found ways to just bully the other team. And right, I mean, I'm not expecting this line to put up every 3 games 13, 14 points.
No, of course not.
Doing right now. But like this is a line that's big, it's physical, they can fight, but they can also score and play some offense.
Now here's the second part to my gas. Is this the type of third line? I think personally, this is the type of third line you need to win the Stanley Cup.
I think it's too early to say that right now.
I don't want
to plan the parade because they've won 4 out of their last 6.
I'm not saying they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year, but I'm just saying every team that's won the Stanley Cup has a dominant third line that hits, that's fast, that's fight, and this third line has it.
He's referencing a beautiful third line back in the LA 2014 when they had
on
that line.
Yeah, Jeff Carter. I love Jeff Carter. He's a really
David's pointing out, look at Ottawa and Chicago, other lower tier teams with major injuries, and they're playing better than the Leafs. At times, but I think the Leafs are starting to turn I'd say they're starting to turn the corner. But here is an interesting point. Does this team have mental instability issues? Because we do see it in the playoffs where they just seem to Amber Heard the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Adam's saying it's definitely the type of line. If this line can be that, it's a different point. Yeah, that is very true. It's the line that can be it, but will they do it consistently? And that's
what we don't know yet.
Kind of what Brandon's saying. It's just too small of a sample size to really figure out if it's the right decision or not with that, right? Like, is this a line that long? I hope it is. Mind you, I still think this Leaf team at some point towards the end of the year, I think there still could be some tweaking. I mean, Brandon Carlo and Chris Tanev are both injured. I don't know if Max Domi is going to be your top winger long term, although, you know what, I hate to admit it, because you guys know I've been kind of hard on Max Domi this year.
I love Max Domi.
He's been playing a lot better of late, right? Like he's starting to. Matthews goal, the assist was absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
But yeah, absolutely, Brandon. I would definitely, never mind stick at the trio. I would leave these lines alone as much as I can unless there's injuries or, like, obviously if Chris Tanev's healthy again, you put him back in the lineup.
I mean, even the fourth line's looking really good. I just feel really, I can't believe I'm saying this.
And yeah, McMahon does have that speed element for sure, Brandon. Like,
100%.
But McMahon's also not like a wimp, right? Like he still plays pretty big,
fight.
pretty physical.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That third line, it could be kind of what the Islanders' fourth line was when they went on their couple deep playoff runs just before we won't say the word, but before the C19, we'll say. If you say the word, sometimes YouTube blocks you. It's a good time. But yeah, maybe you'll see. Maybe this line could be the turning point. Could be a big part of the turning point.
C19. Get 19 vitamins, 19 times the vitamin C that you normally would.
By the way, we are not a doctor or not affiliated with doctors. Go call Dr. Mike on YouTube, not me. But do you guys know who Dr. Mike is?
No.
Well, you should.
Does he have a comment?
No, it's just he's a YouTuber of 14 million subscribers, Danny. I doubt he watches the Analyst Desk at the moment.
Well, I just wanted some guy commenting named Dr. Mike. I didn't know.
By the way, the Cowboys have just made it 16-27.
Whoa.
So they're trying to make that game a little more interesting. Let's get back into some comments. I know there's some other comments up top we got to address about some of the football, and we will get to those. Lane is making sure his wall is still there, and it is. Blame the Leafs playoff woes on mental issues 9 years into this core as a cop-out. Can't say you're weak mentally after nearly a decade in the league. And that is an excellent point.
That's a great point.
Like, Leaf fans do like to make excuses for failure.
They do. That's a great point, Mr. Adam.
Not sure who you're referencing would be a good pickup for the Leafs. I'm just going to think it's Nazem Kadri, because that's who I want them to go get.
It's Dr. Mike, obviously.
Dr. Mike. Yes. He can be their new... He was voted as sexiest doctor alive in 2014. I don't know why I know that off the top of my head, but...
He can be the psychiatrist.
I do.
For the mental.
And absolutely, you got the big line now. And what that line allows you to do, too, is, especially since it can actually score, it's opening up some ice from the Matthews line and the Tavares line. Although Nylander, Tavares, and Cowan, that line did not look the best today.
I was going to say, that's the unfortunate thing no one's really talking about. Ever since this winning streak and all these good things happening, Nylander and Tavares have been a little quiet.
Doesn't matter. They're winning games.
I agree. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
But let's get to some of these comments about some of the football that's going on, because I don't want to skip you guys here.
Yeah, football news going on.
Could toss me around like Jackson Dart. Oh, Jackson Dart's having a great year this year, actually. I know the Giants aren't playing that winning games, but you got to wonder for them, if Scadabouche didn't get injured, where this team might be. Brandon's talking about the Cowboys defense. Yeah, I'd say the Cowboys defense is a major reason why that team is 6-5-1, because their offense is at least serviceable, right?
Oh, yeah, it's very good.
I really think that they need it's very tough, but I feel like the owner's a big problem in Dallas. Dan, I know you love him, but Jerry Jones needs to stay out of the spotlight and just let the coaches and players and managers just do their job. But I mean, the Cowboys, I think, considering how badly they started off, and hey, they might have ended the Chiefs season for me, so there's something that I can be happy about.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty cool as a Buffalo Bills fan.
And we got more comments here. We have Domi needs to be in the top 6 to get the most out of him. Stop the third line C experiment. Yeah, I do agree with you. Absolutely, Brandon. I don't really think that Max Domi really... Number one, Max Domi shouldn't play center. He's better as a wing. And I do find Max Domi has had the most success playing with Auston Matthews. But, I mean, also, too, and Dan, you're going to get mad at me for this because I know you're not a Matthews fan, but it's also the Matthews effect. Mitch Marner goes to Vegas. He doesn't look like half the player he looked like in Toronto, because even a bad season for Auston Matthews is a 40-goal scorer.
Oh, 100%.
Right? So, like, you put these playmakers out there, and Mitch Marner, it's going to be a lot harder for him to get those points without a guy like Auston Matthews. We could say the same thing about Max Domi. instead of Max Domi passing it to, and no, this is no disrespect to Dakota Joshua for a one-timer, and now instead he's passing it to Auston Matthews, when he's more apt to get some assists, right? Because Auston Matthews, and in my opinion, he's starting to look like the Matthews from 2 years ago again. He's getting lots of shots. He's getting wicked hit, and Dan, that wrist shot looks on.
He almost got injured
from the
again
blue
tonight.
line and beating goalies again. That is something we didn't see last year. That's something we're seeing again this year.
Well, I hope so.
If you can get Matthews back up to that pace that I believe that was his 11th tonight. Like, look, which he's on pace for around 44, 45 goals right now if he played all 82 games. If you can get him up to that, close to that 50 goal pace again, this team's really... That's what I said. I still have my badminton racket ready in case I'm wrong, Lane, and I have the Argo hat here ready for you in case you're wrong. But I still think this Leaf team's a playoff team. I really do. I said that going into this road trip.
So you think
it's just now they just got to continue this good to after the road trip.
So you think this is going to be like the December Cup that they usually have in November?
Yeah, I do. I actually really feel like this December is the month they turn things around.
Because you know how they always have that 1 month in the usually November, but it'll probably December.
I think it's December this year, boys.
The December Cup is on.
Well, the other thing I was going to say, I wanted to mention this earlier, but we didn't get a chance to. Everything's been so crazy busy. I haven't been on a little bit on the decks, but we're talking about Mitch Marner in Vegas. Did you hear that Mitch Marner and Jack Eichel had a little fight and in practice? And the comments were Jack Eichel said, "Oh, no wonder why Toronto didn't want to resign you."
No, that's from what we can tell by lip reading. We're not 100% sure what those comments are, but we have been seeing in some practices, and I don't want to get into all the controversy in Vegas because, it's politically heated and we don't want to get into that. But with the whole Mitch Marner, Jack Eichel, I love Dan's face. The whole Mitch Marner situation, I think it's not Marner. It's just what I see with Mitch Marner is a good player. You know what? I'm going to compare it to this. Mitch Marner in Vegas is a better Jonathan Huberdeau in Calgary. Mitch Marner put up 100 points last year. He'll be lucky to put up 85 this year. It's very similar to the Jonathan Huberdeau situation.
I don't like Mitch Marner, but he's not that bad. I mean,
I said he's a better Jonathan.
Probably the worst top line.
I said a better Dan, put on your listening ears. I said a better Jonathan Huberdeau.
I could be a better Jonathan Huberdeau.
No, you couldn't. Because what Mitch Marner is, Jonathan Huberdeau put up all those points playing on Florida when he was playing with Barkov. Arguably the best two-way center in the entire league. Yeah. Then you put him with Calgary. He had no one to pass to. His point total went down. Now you look at Mitch Marner. But now you look at Mitch Marner. Dan, let me finish. Now you look at Mitch Marner in Vegas. He no longer has the best goal scorer in this era to pass to.
What? Oh, boo. He's not the best.
Dan Auston Matthews, since he's came into the league, has more goals than Ovechkin per game. Get over it. Facts don't care about your feelings, Dan. You like to say that a lot. So
I get that.
At the end of the day, I think that's what you're seeing in Mitch Marner and Vegas. And just to get to a quick comment about that, yeah, I think Marner can be a distraction in Vegas now, which Vegas might need the distractions with some of the heat they are getting by playing Carter Hart. Right. So, and again, we're not going to get into our feelings about it. It is what it is. He's there. He's playing. It's going to be what it's going to be. But I mean, at the end of the day, maybe they will try to use Marner as the distraction noodle, like those Kraft Dinner commercials from the mid 2000s. But the Leafs have, as Brandon's saying, a 5-game homestand coming up. And I believe that's what Lane wants to kind of show us here on the Leafs schedule coming up. And this is look, I'm seeing some winnable games here coming up for Toronto to really get them back into a playoff spot in this homestand.
I think San Jose will be tough because San Jose's been really good this year.
Yeah. I said that going in the offseason. I thought, boy, they were the team, in my opinion, that improved them so much because those young guys got a full year under the belt. And they brought him some veteran leadership and Jeff Skinner, Ryan Reeves, and Dmitry Orlov. I mean, they really brought in leadership in all three key areas: defense, physicality, and offense, right? And that team's looking Maybe not this year, but I think depending what they do next year in the offseason again, could be a very dangerous team of Celebrini looking like literally one of the best players in the league.
But still, I'm looking at these games. You got Montreal, Lightning, Sharks, Oilers, Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Caps and the Preds to finish off the week.
Okay, but like I'm looking at
Connor Bedard.
I'm looking at this homestand, right? If you can win 3 and make sure 2 of those are against Montreal and Tampa, you're putting yourself in a pretty decent spot to get right back in the playoff race. You got 2 4-point games coming up.
Yeah. 100%.
And you know what? Absolutely. Let's get over to Den 6 Nations. It was a great game tonight, good sir. And I am catching up on a lot of comments here, everyone. But yeah, absolutely great night. Key saying hello to 6. Hello. We're always happy to see 6 Nations in the comment section.
From the Hammer.
And as David saying, Domi's attitude is what has him on the third line. Well, I mean, yeah, he does have a bit of an attitude problem at times, but I don't see him coming off that top line anytime soon if he keeps playing the way he does, especially the way he is playing with Matthew Nyes. And absolutely, like it's in the comment section here, Matthew Nyes is playing some really good hockey right now. He's kind of taken over that Mitch Marner role, and you could argue he's doing it better.
But I didn't see that coming, but wow.
I did. Do you guys see what I'm saying, though? Like, you feel if you can win 3 out of 5 in this one and 2 of those wins be Montreal and Tampa, you might be at a playoff spot by the time this homestand's done?
For sure.
100%.
Because, like, you guys might laugh at me. Out of those 3 Western teams to end the homestand, I actually think Chicago will be your hardest game.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, Edmonton's super inconsistent, so I think you should be able to beat Edmonton. And I'd like to see, I think San Jose, again, I think you should, as much as I know the Sharks been playing well, but I think you should be able to beat them.
Yep.
It's the Blackhawks that are that real wild card team for me. The Blackhawks and the Sharks are 2 of the most interesting teams in the league right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, yeah.
2 very, very young teams that seem to be able to, are finding a way. And I guess soon, boys, we got to put out our Team Canada rosters.
Yes.
So that should be coming out soon, as much as the NHL might be regretting going to the Olympics with some of these ice issues in Italy. Like, the rink's going to be too small. The ice is supposed to be terrible. Like, there's a lot of controversy in Italy about
Wasn't
this
the Olympics in Italy in 2006 when Canada did it horrible?
I'm not sure.
I think it was. I think it was Italy back then as well. And that was the year where the Greek one put that team together, and it was Todd Bertuzzi was a controversial player.
But interesting comment here, and I believe this is a new commenter, so welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome
Troy Stecher could be the best waiver pickup for the Leafs in a decade, and you know what?
Totally agree with
that. Troy Stetcher's been playing. He's a +7 going into tonight. And
past 2 games, not all
since he's joined the Leafs, and he's really he's been a guy that's been a difference maker, right? He's really stabilized the defensive core that was really struggling. He's really filled in nicely in Chris Tanev's role, which is something I was not expecting him to do. But he's came to Toronto and he's playing at a very, very high level. And I agree with Brandon as well in this comment saying Stecher is giving the Leafs great minutes. He absolutely is. And look, I think that Troy Stecher, I don't know if you guys think I'm a little crazy. Then I got to get up to a comment from Key, and then we got to get into some comments about Hockey Canada. But what do you think, Lane? Do you think Troy Stecher might be kind of this, like, the waiver pickup that's kind of like maybe when Montreal picked up Montembeault for nothing? It's like, why did a team let him go for nothing when he's still this good of a player?
Yeah, it's true. Like, you never, like, that's the thing about the NHL, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, I know I do this too. I say, oh, this guy sucks and that guy sucks and I'm mad at this guy. At the end of the day, these are all professional athletes, right?
And they're all very good.
They're all fantastic. The level they're at, like you and me, Jacob, we watch like junior hockey, like and look at how many players. I was thinking about this in the car the other day. I was like, like we follow a league that, like, so many kids play. You see kids all across Ontario, BC, the States. Mm-hmm. All these places are playing hockey, trying to get there. And only so many can get there, right? So even someone like a Troy Stecher, right, who people might not look at as like a big top end, and he may not be as flashy as like your Cale Makar or your Quinn Hughes or your Victor Hedmans. But the fact that Troy Stecher is still in the NHL doesn't mean he's a bad defender. Sure, he may not be as skilled as as some other players, but get him in the right system.
He's no Cale Makar, but he's still a talented guy. Any
Right.
player who is in, whether it's the NHL or like
Even
the
the
NBA, I've never
AHL.
seen this challenge when it's this guy like he's the worst NBA player ever, and D1 college players would challenge him and they get absolutely cooked one-on-one, right? So, by the way, as a quick update, the Detroit Red Wings lost in a shootout to the Columbus Blue Jackets 6-5.
I think they're falling apart.
Detroit, yeah, I mean they're starting to really struggle.
And
but
now
let's get back in this.
500.
Let's get back. Yeah, but they're not looking as good of late.
So for the Leafs are over 500.
The Leafs are over 500 now. Oilers are also up 6-3 over the Kraken, so even though they can't get goaltending, they could score at least for now. But let's get into some more comments here. And from Key, Marner is a total showboat. Kind of reminds me of Zebra Zegras in that way. He still seems to think he has a monopoly of his playing style. I used to think Matthews is arrogant, but maybe it was Marner that made him that way. And that's always been my take. I did not like Mitch Marner even back when he was playing for the London Knights. I've never liked this. I've never liked him personally. Like, I get he's super talented, incredible player. But
just to go back to Key's point here, what really stood out to me personally about Mitch Marner is in the whole situation of him leaving Toronto and going to Vegas and the whole thing with Pacioretty and Ryan Reeves and for trade for Woll and all that, and Marner's going on Toronto as an unsafe city. Max Domi, who grew up with Mitch Marner, was his line mate on the London Knights when they won the Memorial Cup together, did not say a word. And that raised a serious point to me. You think about even if Max Domi wanted to stay in Toronto, he could have said, Mitch Marner's a great guy. I wish him all the best. The media didn't treat him like blah, blah. He didn't say anything. So I think that was a strong key there, that he was in the one and Domi was in the white, because Domi grew up in Toronto, with Ty Domi being one of the most legendary Leafs of all time, right? So maybe not for goal scoring, but for other reasons. So, I really sent a really serious message. Okay, this guy grew up with you, played with you, supported and won with you, and now he's not backing you up.
But it's interesting though, at the end of the day, with Marner, I mean, like, I think Leaf fans do need to get over the fact that he's gone. It just didn't really work out here. But it's an interesting point from Wilder. It's like, question, who would you rather have, Woll or Marner? And I know you mean Marner there. I know you corrected yourself in your second comment here. Look, it's one of those things. You can't look at the Woll for Marner trade as if you traded Woll for Marner.
No.
I mean, Marner for Woll. You have to look at it. You were going to get absolutely nothing for Mitch Marner, and you found a way to get something for him. It would be like, instead of throwing this badminton racket out, I'm going to sell it to Dan for $5. Sure, it's worth more than $5.
Is it?
Yes, but it's better than throwing it out. Damn, this racket new was like a $80 badminton racket.
Holy cow.
But it's better to get $5 for it than absolutely nothing.
Well, I was going to say,
and that's what I think it was with the Mitch Marner situation. You were better to get something for him than nothing. Like, I mean, I don't think Woll and Marner are really comparable players. They do very different things. But at the end of the day, what Nicholas Woll is doing right now in Toronto is a role that I think the Leafs have needed filled for a number of years.
I think what you could compare that trade to was the trade probably everyone forgot about, but when Matt Sundin was traded to Montreal for a day for Mikhail Gaboski.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal gave up Mikhail Gaboski, who was a high prospect at the time.
Put up some good years in Toronto.
Get Matt Sundin on June 30th instead of waiting until July 1st.
And he still didn't sign
at the end of the day, Matt Sundin signed in Vancouver anyway to retire his career. He did not sign in Montreal, but still, was Mikhail Gaboski even trade to Matt Sundin? Obviously not. But still, it was good that we got something for losing the captain franchise player.
So who would I have now, Wilder? That's an interesting question. And then we'll get into some other comments further back that I jumped over here. But it just has to go with our topic right now. This is going to be really weird. If I'm building a team from complete scratch, I'd want Mitch Marner over Nicholas Woll because of the pure talent level. On the Toronto Maple Leafs, I would rather have Nicholas Waugh because I feel he's filling a role that the Leafs desperately need filled. I feel that Toronto has guys that as a committee, they can put up the points that Mitch Marner put up in Toronto. But it's getting harder to find these big physical centermen who have decent speed that play a two-way game. And to find these power forwards is getting harder to find. Where, if anything, I think Matthew Nyes is almost replacing Mitch Marner. You look at his assist totals this year, and you look to Max Domi, since he's been back on the top line, been putting up some nice numbers. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, look, I'd say right now on Toronto, I'm actually okay with having Nicholas Waugh instead of Mitch Marner. What do you think on that, Dan?
I couldn't say it better myself. I totally agree.
Well, then don't say anything. You're done. You're cooked.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kidding, Dan. Go ahead.
No, I totally agree with you. Yeah, on paper, is Waugh comparable to Marner? No. If you're building a team for scratch, do you want Marner over Waugh? 100%. Because like him or lump him, Marner is a franchise 100-point guy. Anytime 100%. You can start off a first team with that, I mean, look, when you're starting a expansive team like with Seattle, Utah, right? If they could have got someone like Mitch Marner, it would have been the number one choice for them. I totally get that. But right now for the Maple Leafs, because you got so many key assets to the team, like Matty Knives and Willie Nylander and John Tavares and Auston Matthews and Morgan Riley, list goes on and on and on, you need the veteran third line center as physical, a penalty killer, that wins faceoffs, and most importantly, has done this before, has won the Stanley Cup. This is what you need in your dressing room right now. And this is what they got, right? So with this Toronto Maple Leaf team, yeah, I'd rather have Waugh over Marner.
So, Lane, I'm going to ask you the same question. And Wilder wants to know our personal choice. Nicholas Waugh or Mitch Marner?
I'll put it to you this way, Wilfred. I would rather have this piece of paper over Mitch Marner. This single piece of paper has more talent than Mitch Marner had. And I'm joking, but literally, I said the same thing. You know, I tried to defend this guy. You know, a friend of mine who actually comments on the show is Zach, who usually when the Leafs lose, but usually, you know, he tried to tell me first, like, yo, that Marner guy, man, you guys got. I tried to be like, you know, my Leaf blinders on, being like, no, Mitch Marner's a great player. We love him here. And then the more I started to look into it, I'm like, but you get your team, your passion, you wear the blinders, right? You don't see it. That, you know, that especially this last year with the comments and now the off season and now what's going on in Vegas. Now I'm starting to see it. And I'm like, wow, this guy, like, I'm not saying he wasn't, like, he's being a problem even where he is now.
Yeah. I mean, and you think about, you look at Mitch Marner on paper, he should have been the perfect story. You know, he was a local boy. He won the Memorial Cup with London. He's a fantastic line mate of Max Domi, legendary son of a Maple Leaf legend. You know, everyone cheers on underdog size and all that. You look at it on paper, he should have been like the next franchise player for his era for the Maple Leafs. Why you drafted him high overall? It just, for whatever reason, we don't really know, it didn't really work out.
Well, Dan, it's actually good you say that because I have an immediate gas rash based on that comment.
Okay.
Well, we'll get to this gas or ass, and then we got to get to some phenomenal comments we have. Our comment section is popping. Gas or ass, gas or is it ass, or is it ass?
So I'm going to give an example of this question because it's going to sound like a weird question, but I'm going to give an example. Do we think there's a problem with, especially parents, and some of the agents these players sign kind of ruining careers? A good example is you look at William Nylander before. When William Nylander a few years ago, especially during the C-19 days, you know, he had an issue with his agent and his dad kind of speaking up, saying, oh, you know, you got to wait for the money and get the money. Make sure
that was before C-19.
Make sure you get the money and, you know, that stuff. And, you know, I feel like sometimes, I know you want to do best for your kid. And I know I get that. Like, that's your kid. You want to make sure he's set up for life. You want to get him in the right investments and everything. And I know it's the agent who they sign, but I sometimes think these people, like both parties, need to just sit back and let the guy who's making the millions make the decisions. Because once William Nylander kind of took that advice, it got him in some hot seats with the Leafs. And then all of a sudden, it took him some while. It took him to do a lot more charity. He had to go to the community and show, like, no. And it took him a while. And I think Mitch Marner is another example of that, a guy who kind of listens to his dad. Again, I don't know the guy personally, but I've heard a lot of things that his dad says, especially to the media, especially when he goes on Vegas and says, oh, my boy should be making $47 million, and he's got his agent pumping his gas. And maybe if they just kind of like stayed out of it and let Mitch Marner be Mitch Marner, let him handle his decision, maybe this wouldn't have all played out. I don't know. I'm just saying I see a lot of instances where I feel like players, where these agents and their parents they get involved, they go to the media, they cause a bunch of crap, and then the player has to kind of take all that, and sometimes it kind of ruins their career.
You know what, Lane? I'm going to say 100% gas with you on this, and I think you could even take it down to a junior hockey level where, like, and I mean really junior, like I'm talking like 12-year-old kids, when you got parents, and just even in sports in general, yelling and screaming at coaches and refs and umpires and threatening them, and it's like, maybe parents just need to kind of chill. And I'd say at the professional level, yeah, I mean, sometimes, maybe take a couple less million to make sure you're on the right fit of a team. It's not, I know as Jesse J says, it's not about the money. And I mean, it's frustrating when rich people say that to you, but realistically, if you're going to make 10 million or 12 million a year, you're set for life anyways, either way,
here's a good example.
Smart enough with the money.
Have you ever seen John Tavares' mom come out there?
Yeah, I was just going to say exact same thing.
Have you ever
seen
seen Sidney Crosby?
You didn't see Trey Savage's dad tweet out that he should be making more money than Max Scherzer?
Did he?
Right? Like but it's true though, right? I mean, you even saw that controversy a couple years ago in the CFL when VA was the backup to Rourke. VA was saying he understood and it was good, and it was his dad tweeting out a whole bunch of stuff that was causing a lot of locker room drama. So it's not just in hockey, right? I mean, it's not even just in sports. How many times have you been handling something and your mom or your dad or your grandparents or whoever steamroll over you in the situation and make it 1,000 times worse? They mean well. But sometimes you just gotta take a step back here.
No, I agree with Lane. I say gas on this comment, but just for argument's sake and make the show a little more interesting, there are some parents that are legendary for defending for their players, for children, as I say, sorry, in a good way. You look at Alexander Ovechkin's mom. Holy cow! I would not want to mess with her. And same of Evgeny Malkin. Like, they're actually their agents, and like they really
but again, Dan, they never went out to the press and tried to make.
That's the difference. I totally agree with you.
There's a healthy way to do it where it's like, you're supporting your son, and I get the defending, but sometimes it's like when you're going out there and you're going to the press and you're sitting on the radio going, well, gee, Williker, my son deserves $40 million, and if the city doesn't like it, we're gonna before Mitch Marner even signed the guy's first contract, before he even signed a contract in Toronto, his dad was going over to any radio station that would take him and saying, well, if we don't get a $50 million contract on day one, we're gonna start looking for the team. Yeah, but then that pisses off the fan base, and you know what happens when you piss off the fan base in Toronto? You get booed and you get harassed in the media, and at the end of the day, Brian Marchand's right. This is a tough city to play in, whether you want to admit it or not. This is not an easy city to be in, and if you're going to go to the tabloids and just kind of make it about you, you're going to set that player up to be a failure in this city, and that's exactly what happened with Marner. The fan base hated that guy from the day he got out of his electoral contract, because he had to have this number, he had to have his college number, and it was just little things like that set this guy off on the wrong foot before his foot even got in the door here.
Yeah, I totally.
Yeah, just to get the comment section about it here, because guys, we got a lot of comments we got to get to.
I agree. About Tavares.
I do feel Marner, it did get greedy. Bet to Lane's point, he was influenced as well. by a lot of other people. And another comment here is Tavares only at 4.2 and he works his ass off. Toronto boy should still be the captain.
I agree.
And that's the other big interesting thing too, right? I mean, you would never see Mitch Marner become, you'd never see Tavares become the captain again, but it is interesting. And I see Brandon wants to throw in a gas or ass, and Brandon, we'll get to that very soon. I just got to catch up on some comments here because we have a lot of very interesting ones. This kind of brings back more into the money. I'm kind of just looking at some that are fitting in this topic. And look, Stetcher is a guy who cares. He's got no choice. He's only making $775. But I mean, like, a guy like Stetcher, you see, he gives a crap, right? And he cares about the team he plays for. I still find it very odd Edmonton just let him go for nothing, considering that they needed, that they, in at times where we do need defense, right?
So actually, like Keith's comments here too. I don't know if you got that one there, but the wives can be a problem. That's a thing too. It's not just that; it's wives too. I 100% agree with this too.
No, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's a lot of family that causes issues, right? So absolutely, Key. That's another great comment there. And you know what? Interesting too, Brandon. You are kind of right. The Argos' new coach actually does kind of look like Brad Treliving, which we got to do a show about what's going on in Argo land soon too. There's a lot of. He actually kind of does, Lane. Look up Mike Miller, Argos head coach.
I gotta say this. Does he look like Brad Treliving? Not the basketball player.
Also, too, it's a quick reminder, as Adam's pointing out, Canada World Junior roster coming out on Monday. Let's go.
Okay, I thought the one picture I saw didn't, but this one, I would say it's the face. Yeah, I'd say that's the gas. That's the gas. Okay, he does.
That's a round of applause for the World Juniors coming back.
I'm gas on that one, Brendan. I'm gas. He does look like Brett Treliving.
Oh, those your gas or ass. My apologies, Brandon. But I would also say gas. I think that the new head coach of the Toronto Argos does actually look like Brad Treliving. But we got some more. Is a comment I wanted to get to here, and guys, I apologize. We've been getting so many comments tonight, which is absolutely brilliant. By the way, we absolutely love the way the community's coming together on these shows. Yeah, there was a comment right around Adams. Here we go. From Brandon, Marner wouldn't be on my Team Canada. So, boys, without giving away your Team Canada rosters that we're going to be doing a show on ASAP, is Mitch Marner on your Team Canada?
No.
What do you think, Dan? Is he on your Team Canada?
As much as I don't like him, I'm going to say yes. I think, Olympic style of play, you want a high speed, talented offense winger to play with someone like Connor McDavid or Nathan McKinnon. So
I'm saying he's on my roster because of how well he played at Four Nations. He played really well at Four Nations. He looked really good on that line of Hagel and Jarvis. And I don't think Marner's a top 6 guy on Team Canada. No. But I think Marner is a guy that I'd have on my Team Canada, but I would also understand why he wouldn't be, because you look at Macklin Celebrini, you look at Connor Bedard. I think you want both of those guys on your lineup too. You got to put them somewhere. Someone's got to come out. Right? And it is interesting too. Remember, this is the big thing that I'm reminding everyone, because Dan and I were having this argument about Tom Wilson, if he should be on Team Canada.
He should be. I think so.
I think so too.
I'm not going to tell you why then, because I'm going to save that for the next show, but I would not have him on my Team Canada for the Olympics.
Oh,
what?
But you know what, Lane? If you want to know why, you got to join the desk for the Team Canada rosters. Which, by the way, we'll be all coming out with our own Team Canada roster, whether you want to or not. Dan, I'm looking at you buddy boy, who apparently Spencer Knight's going to put peanut butter on your head, according to David. So I hope you like peanut butter.
I don't like peanut butter. If someone did that to me, I would cry.
Peanut butter's good.
You don't like peanut butter?
No, I'm not a peanut butter guy.
Oh, yeah.
Schaefer and Celebrini a must. Yeah, I could see Matthew Schaefer making it, actually. He's killing it this year. David is saying Bedard over Marner all day.
100%.
I mean, yeah, and too, Connor Bedard, I know he did it at the World Junior level, but he's got experience in these type of things. right? And
100%.
it's interesting though, right? And I'm glad you can't wait, but you're gonna have to wait. Are we gonna see a 16-year-old in it this season? I don't think we'll see any. Maybe for World Juniors, we might see some really young guys in World Juniors for sure. I
We
think for
could see
the
some 16-year-olds in other teams. It's not Team Canada.
I think for the Olympics, youngest we'll see on Team Canada is probably like a Bedard, a Celebrini, or again, look, Matthew Schaefer might make the team as your seventh defenseman to run your power play.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting here. Adam's kind of Adam's had a very different opinion than a lot of our other ones here. I hate when people talk about not caring because of money because we aren't in their heads. Matthews cares whether it's your opinion shows it or not. And yeah, I do agree with you, Adam, there to a point. Like, we don't know what these players are feeling or saying because obviously we're not inside their head because we're not zombies. What's in your head? I think the Matthews comment's just a shot at Dan. He knows Dan does not like Auston Matthews at all. But yeah, I do get what you're saying there, Adam, as well, right? Like, we don't know what these players are going through and what they're saying. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see, will we see what kind of roster are we going to see for the World Juniors? What kind of roster are we going to see for Team Canada? But Bedard had a wrist shot last night at 82 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Bedard, look, I think a lot of people, especially you, Mr. Moore, Connor Bedard an apology because everyone said, oh, this kid's washed.
True, yep.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
I do.
Chicago shouldn't have drafted him. And now Connor Bedard might be the best player in the entire league.
Yeah, I agree.
He might be. I'm scared when he comes.
And absolutely key. I will a close up of the baseball bat. It's an autographed Jays baseball bat. Actually, I'll bring it out now from 2000 and the 2001 Jays team during the Canada Day game.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So it's got all the autographs from the players from that year.
That's sick.
Our mother got it for us.
Mm-hmm.
She's such a lovely lady.
Yeah.
Very close of everyone. Mm-hmm. Oh. Anyways. But yeah, interesting here too. Another comment saying Jacob Chikrin should be getting a serious look. Absolutely.
Ooh, yeah.
He's absolutely killing it.
He's playing great at Washington.
Absolutely, David. What's in your head? Zombies. Great song. I do actually, yeah, the Bad Wolves version, Lane, awesome version of that track. Love it. Did you guys know Eminem also has a version of that track?
Yeah, but Bad Wolf one's legendary.
Does he?
He does. It's off Revival, so don't cringe as soon as I say that album, because a lot of people just think that whole album was terrible, and I would disagree with you. But it's actually a pretty good track. I think the Wolves version's my favorite version personally, but the Eminem version's a very different version that you wouldn't expect. So are you guys all feeling though Bedard over Marner? Like if you had to pick between Bedard or Marner right now?
100%.
Actually, I agree with David. Yeah, I said I would take Marner on this team, but if I'm comparing Bedard to, I wasn't thinking of Bedard because he's not a winger, but yeah, I would want to have Bedard over Marner, 100%.
So you want Marner to take a train going anywhere?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you can play a Team Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Marner's from the Swiss, but you never know.
I know, I'm just saying.
Oh, we have some more comments here. Could it be like Dan dancing to Sandstorm by Durns for 7 minutes?
Oh, that's a great song.
That is a phenomenal song.
Times like this, I wish I was deaf.
Key, you think Without Me's cringy? Oh, no, you gotta have an Eminem song as your goal song in Detroit.
Just like good job
for me. So everybody, just follow me because we need a little controversy because it feels so empty without me. At least they're not picking. Hey, you know what? They could pick songs that are a lot more terrifying. Like at least it's not Kim by Eminem as their goal song.
So long, you did me so long.
Oh, apparently, David wants it for 30 seconds.
What?
Your dance.
I just did 30 seconds.
That was not 30 seconds.
Dude.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Why you always lie to me? Lane's just like, why did I come on the stream today?
Oh no, my computer's about to crash. Oh no.
Hey, unfortunately, David, if we play it, then our stream will get blocked by YouTube because they don't understand how fair use works. It's unfortunate. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Good Lord, about Fair Use Act. But
that's what Lane says that we use AI music.
Yeah,
that's a whole other conversation. By the way, the Lions are now up 30-19 over the Cowboys with 10-21 left in the fourth quarter.
Oh, we're kind of winning away with now.
It's only 11-point spread, but they got the ball, right? So basically, if they get the touchdown on this drive, it's game. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, David, it's actually not so much Facebook. It's not really Mark's shots. I like that nickname for him. But it's more YouTube. They get really... That's why so many people are... the Cowboys, by the way, just got a pick 6.
Whoa!
Making it 30-25. Oh. Yeah, here we go. Oh. How about them Cowboys? They're making it a game. It's a must-win for them, but I mean, but look, at the end of the day, I think we have an interesting time right now in sports, right? Are you guys looking forward for the CFL schedule coming out in a couple of days?
Yeah, I'll be a good one too.
Yeah, CFL schedule comes out on the 9th. Touchdown, Dallas!
Yeah.
And the CFL schedule comes out next week.
It's going to be a big month, month of December, so stay tuned. There'll be a lot of big news coming out about both the decks here. And we apologize for being a little slow past a couple of weeks. Things have been kind of busy for us.
Whoa! Cowboys went for the 2-point convert and got it.
So only down by 3 now.
30-27. Wow. The Lions do get the ball back.
Wow.
But big news coming.
How about them Cowboys?
Big news coming. And the other thing, too, is on January the 6th, I believe, it'll be our 1-year anniversary of doing podcasts. So thank you, everyone, for sticking along with us for this long. We could have not done it without you, with all the views and comments and shares and likes. It all helps huge. The subscribers, the followers, it all helps huge building the algorithm, and we've grown it pretty amazing without any money here. So, thank you so much, everyone, as we love doing it. And we'll have us look up the anniversary of Mr. Daschko, too, and give him a cake.
It's our anniversary.
I'm pretty sure my anniversary is in April or something.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Also, quick shout out thank you to Key, Alex, and David for the likes and hearts and reactions on the Facebook side of the stream. Mm-hmm. Adam says you're welcome, Dan.
All the new YouTube comments. And
and all the new, and you always appreciate getting so many new
people commenting on Twitch as well.
No, I mean, we certainly have a lot of fun here with you guys. But yeah, December is going to be a great month because we got World Juniors, CFL schedule drops, CFL winter meetings are either late December or early January. NHL season kicks into high gear. NFL season now. There's only 4 weeks left in the NFL season. We're in week 14.
Isn't it sad that the glass is so little?
Like, I mean, guys, this is a great time to be a sports fan right now. We have tons of Leafs talk to discuss. Like, there's going to be it's a great time to be alive at the Analyst Desk. So I got to say,
what a time to be alive.
Yeah. Real big things.
This is me and mine. Are we talking teams?
Jacob has no clue what's going on.
You know that song? Oh, come on. You know
I know that song. I love
we got
that
some really
big
Belleville
things. Senators
we got some really big rings. Yeah, do you guys like Cody Ponce?
Oh, that's why he is a Blue Jay. How does he have a picture at the side, right?
$10 million for that guy, really?
Yeah, but Blue Jays are opening up the wallets, that's for sure.
Apparently.
I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm not the
He's
biggest
like a Korean
fan.
baseball
The
pitcher.
Belleville Sens game. I would love to see a Belleville Sens game.
Actually, just so you guys are aware too, we will be doing a show on Saturday. I believe Adam will be joining us at the desk. And we're gonna break. I hope Adam is, because if I have to break down who's playing who in the World Cup, I'll have no idea what to say. So World Cup draws tomorrow, and Adam's a big footy fan. I'm not talking football. I'm talking football. Will you kick those balls in the air?
Well, you think about why do we call football anyway? Like you throw it for a touchdown or you run into the end zone. The only thing you do with a kick at the football is a field goal. It's a
and a punt.
Game. And a punt, yeah.
And a rouge.
Yeah.
Which you won't see as many rouges next year in the CFL, unfortunately.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, Cowboys just got the ball back. They got to stop. So now they got the ball back.
Oh.
Only down 3. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, we got the World Cup coming up as well, and I think there's going to be
World
a great
Juniors.
Guys, there's so much sports.
CHL action, junior action.
And also, too, remember, too, NFL's really heating up. It's interesting right now. I was not expecting teams like Chicago and the Patriots to be leading divisions and have the Lions and the Chiefs not in a playoff spot at week 14. But here we are. It's a really interesting time to be an NFL fan. I actually would say, too, I don't know if you guys agree, this has been one of the more interesting NFL seasons.
Oh, 100%. I know you've been criticizing it the last couple of years, Jacob.
Well, because it's been boring, but this year has not been boring. We've had a lot of really entertaining games.
Yep.
Which is great to see, because I think the NFL really needs it. Also, too, PWHL hockey's just kicking into high gear.
Yep. You got the NW, the women's basketball.
Well, that's not till the summer, but we got the NBA right now.
Toronto Tempo. The Raptors looking really good.
Yeah, and Bryce Young, man, he must be the chef, because he's cooking.
Oh,
that big win over the Rams last week, boys, that saved the Panthers season.
Literally, 100% did.
Like, the Panthers still have a shot of making the playoffs. And it just goes to show, too, look at some teams give up on young quarterbacks too early. Like, I'm even going to say this about the Vikings. Don't give up on J.J. McCarthy just yet.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, as much as J.J. McCarthy's having a bad year, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
And you're trying to learn how to read NFL defenses. They're so much more complex than college.
Same with goalies the NHL. Like, you really got to give them at least 3 years.
Truthfully, I think the Vikings should have just signed Sam Darnold to a 1-year deal this year. Made it so McCarthy could have been a backup. Let him learn the league a bit more, and then get him in as a starter in a year or two.
Totally.
You got to look, a lot of these rookies, their rookie years aren't that great. Look at Caleb Williams in Chicago. It's taken him a couple years.
Yep.
Or look at good old Drake May in New England. I mean, he's absolutely killing it.
Starting from the bottom, now he's here.
Like, it's got to be exciting in the NFL, because as we're seeing some of the top quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, we know, we only got so many years left of him.
Well, Lions just made a 10-point game.
Oh, that's interesting. I do not have that update yet on my screen, but I believe you, Lane.
Refresh it, Jacob.
Well, refresh your face, Mr. Moore. Do face yoga. Yeah, they did. So it's now they got a touchdown. But the Cowboys give the Cowboys credit, though. They're certainly making it a game. And yeah, Gibbs with the TD.
Yes.
But I think we'll definitely have to come back another day for another show to go over. I really want to have that conversation with you guys about the Argos with some of their interesting news.
We get a chance to talk
naming their starting quarterback for the season before the season even starts. Lane, I don't think you're going to like the answer that they put out.
For what?
About the Argos with their new head coach. I mean, with their new starting, who they want their starting QB to be next season. We also have to talk a lot of news, including Tyson Philpott just signed an extension. Trevor Harris isn't retiring. He just signed a 1-year extension today with the Riders. I think the Riders are going to try to run it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
So we definitely gonna have to have another. Plus, we still got to do another show about going over the rest of the leagues and where we're at. Like we got a lot of coverage to do, and absolutely yay for Dan Campbell. Look, the Lions need this win to still have their season alive.
Yeah.
I mean, so do the Cowboys, I think, too. It's a must.
I was going to say, Cowboys done now?
Well, the game's not over. There's still 7:17 left, roughly.
I understand that, but if they lose tonight, like let's face it, if Detroit loses this game, I think we're still in a playoff hunt. If the Cowboys lose this game, I think we're done. Wouldn't you agree?
Possible.
Well, you got to look at teams like the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Panthers. They basically have to win out.
Well, I say with Steelers, they didn't do as well as we hoped.
We might be seeing the last year of Mike Tomlin as the coach of the Steelers. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is getting his 10 wins. He looked very depressed at the end of last game with his bloody nose.
Yeah, Dan might have to Dan has to wear that clown outfit. Dan was. You may have to go get it now. I would get it now if it's on sale.
Get it on a Boxing Day sale. Yeah. But on that bombshell, I think it's time that we wrap up the show for tonight, as it is getting a wee bit late. And
Skate Star is only 11:04.
Surprise Rod. Surprised A-Rod didn't give up. Yeah, I will say that. I think Rodgers has been better than I thought he'd be this year. I will say that. I did not have very high expectations for him, and he has exceeded them.
He has, yep.
I'll put it this way though, right now, out of any bubble team, the one NFL team, and then I want to wrap up for the night. But the one NFL team that I hope makes the playoffs that's on the outside looking in, I want to see the Bengals win out and win their division.
That would be incredible.
Because with Joe Burrow at the helm, I think they're a Super Bowl contender.
Holy cow, we looked great last week.
If they can get in, like I look at all these other teams, like Falcons, no. Dolphins, no. Panthers, they'll get blown out first round. Chiefs, depends what mood the ref's in. Cowboys, probably not. Steelers, no. Like Lions, yeah, I could see the Lions going on a run. Texans, no. So I really think that I'm looking at those bubble teams. There's only realistically two teams that I think could actually go on a run. I think the Bengals are one of them if they can find a way to get in.
Wow, interesting.
And I'm going to leave it at that. As David says, night, folks.
Night.
Have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk. We need to take a train going anywhere. So we leave the stream. Everyone does this.
Yes. Small town girl.
They love when we're here, but don't worry. I'm going to give you some exciting news. We will be back one day. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us at the desk. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo!
And Lane Dashing Daschko. We'll definitely see you guys back Saturday for the World Cup, for a bit of a World Cup preview. And we have much more coming up here at the desk. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye-bye.